Buddy Johnny here. I wanted to make a video today for everyone out there with ME and CFS who's feeling very lonely, who's feeling hopeless, and is kind of giving up faith as far as this illness is concerned. And I wanted to let you know that you're not alone. Although you may feel alone or physically alone, things have never been more positive for ME and CFS as far as research, awareness, raising money, and things like that. There's a lot of people making videos online to raise awareness. There's a lot going on. And I wanted to just talk to you out there if you're feeling alone and let you know that I got tons of friends and family that are writing letters every single week to politicians. And there's a lot of people like my family doing that. And I just want to let you know that there's people fighting for you. You may not see them, you may not hear about it. I know you're in your room, isolated in your house, isolated, disconnected from the world, but there is a lot going on. And I'm going to go over a few things that's going on, and hopefully that brings you a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of hope, and just to let you know that there are people out there that are fighting for you. I may not know you, these people may not know you, but they're fighting for you. So in no particular order, I'm going to list about 10 things here, and that'll hopefully help you keep your head up for the rest of the day. And when you're feeling down, remember these things. Number one, like I just said, people are fighting back. There's a lot of videos going around about awareness. There's fundraisers going on. There's GoFundMe pages. There's families of sick people that are realizing and seeing how sick their kid or spouse or parent is, and are really getting out there and talking to local politicians and making videos and just doing anything they can in a grassroots kind of way. That wasn't happening 10 years ago, so that's a great sign. Number two, there's documentaries popping up online, and it's specifically a documentary called Unrest, formerly known as A Canary in a Coal Mine, done by Jennifer Brea. And I had the pleasure of meeting her, and I think she's doing a great job of really being the champion so far of this illness, being the face of this illness, and showing people that this is a very debilitating illness that needs attention, needs funding. She is very intelligent, and she's presenting this documentary in a very professional way. It was in Sundance, the Sundance Festival. I think it got a few awards and a lot of praise. And I've seen clips of it, and I think that people are really going to wake up to what's going on. It's presented in a very modern, cinematic way, and I think that when presented so professionally, it's going to catch the attention of people who were doubting this before. And I think she's doing a great job, and I applaud her. And number three is also about her. She did a TED Talk recently, and that TED Talk is a great platform. It's a well-known, well-recognized platform, and she spoke about the illness. I encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link maybe in the description so you can see it. And she spoke about what it's like to have ME very eloquently, and that's going to go a long way. It'd be great if we can get a celebrity, a pro athlete. Well, I don't wish this illness on anyone, but if they were to have it, for them to champion this and get a lot of exposure. But she's doing a great job just from starting on her own and getting this documentary out there and sharing her story and putting herself out there. A lot of people are scared to talk about this illness because of the shame behind it and not believing, but you can't deny her story and the way that she's illustrating it, so I applaud her. Number four, there's a lot of research going on in Europe and Australia and different countries in the U.S. that have talented scientists really looking at this illness, and that's what we've needed for a long time. That wasn't going on before, so that's very encouraging. There are several very reputable scientists that have said that if they're funded properly, they truly believe they can come up with treatment in the next few years, and that's huge. That wasn't really even an idea 10, 15 years ago, or it wasn't talked about 10, 15 years ago, treatment. It was like so far down the road, but we're getting close. Number five, the Millions Missing movement. They, once a year, go out and protest on behalf of people with ME, and they put a bunch of shoes out there for people who couldn't make it and as far as the protest is concerned, and it's just pairs of shoes everywhere to represent the people that are missing, people that have passed, people that are stuck in bed, people that can not go out and protest on their own. And there's a lot more to that. You can look it up, but they're out there fighting on our behalf. Number 6, the overall awareness in in the medical community, socially, on the internet, has grown, and that to me in itself is huge. That means the ball has started rolling, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. Number 7, the development of the internet, as far as social media is concerned, has sprouted lots of support groups. Those support groups have great people. They have exchanging of ideas, medicine that works, supplements that work, strategies, or just going on there and venting, talking to someone for some advice. You're not alone, because they'll talk to you. They will go out of their way. They have ME as well. They know what it's like, and they will help you out. And there's Facebook groups that have excellent groups and support groups for people, and I recommend you check them out. Number 8, there's drug trials going on, cancer drugs that they found may help people with ME, and they're getting later in the stages of those trials. It takes a long time to trial drugs, at least here in the U.S. with the FDA regulations, but they're in the process of doing that. That's huge. So there's a lot of things that are changing. Number 9 kind of touches on the same thing as the internet. It's support groups and how they're popping up everywhere. But I don't just mean support groups as far as social media, but there are physical support groups you can go to and talk to people. That's a little harder to do when you're disabled and you're stuck at home. But they're starting to pop up, at least in Southern California where I live. And number 10, doctors are starting to get it. There's still a lot of doctors out there that don't. Unfortunately, I hear some crazy stories about doctors telling patients that it's just not a real thing, and you guys know the whole story. But there's doctors like Dr. Chia in LA. There's Whitaker Wellness Center here in Orange County where I live, and Whitaker Wellness Center is full of 6 or 7 doctors that totally understand ME and autoimmune diseases, and they just get it. You go there, you talk to them, and they know your symptoms before you start telling them, and it's a relief, especially after you've seen a lot of bad doctors. So Dr. Chia and Whitaker Wellness Center has been kind of pushing people forward, at least here in California, pushing doctors forward, I should say, as far as awareness. I think other doctors see these reputable doctors speaking about ME and treating people with ME, and seeing how high the volume of people traveling from all over the country and the world to see these doctors. And I think it's catching the attention of other doctors, and they're starting to really reevaluate their opinion and their stance on this illness. So I'm sure there are other reasons on why you should keep your head up, and I encourage any other viewers to put those in the comments so others can see. I'm sure I left some things out, but there's a lot of people fighting for you. You feel alone, and that's kind of why I named the channel Fight for ME, Fight for Me, because I really think we are fighting. You're all fighters. You're a fighter watching this. You've gotten this far. You've had this illness. If you have this illness and you're watching this, you're a fighter. There's not a lot of people a whole lot tougher than you. Just because society hasn't told you that and isn't supporting you doesn't mean it's not true. I know for a fact that you can't live with this illness unless you're tough, because it's debilitating, as you know. So it's challenging, and it can be lonely, and society has kind of turned their back on us, but that's changing. And keep your head up, and don't forget to keep fighting. I hope you feel all right. Until next time.